Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So it's not been particularly nice the last couple of days. Quite a bit of rain, although the heat generally has dissipated a little bit, so that's been quite good for the polytunnels. I've not opened them the last couple of days. I've just left them to it kind of just for those last couple of days where it's been really wet, but still warm enough that things are going to still proceed. That early spring is fantastic, and things pretty much can change overnight. I think it's probably been almost a week since I did the last tour, so I just thought I'd let you see how things are progressing now, only just a few days later. So we'll have a bit of a wander up to the head of the plot, and we'll show you what's going on. It's a bit wobbly today, sorry about that. Okay, right, so let me show you these. Okay, believe it or not, this is my parsnips, and there's absolutely hundreds in there. I think they've done really well in terms of germination, so much so that I'm definitely going to have to thin these out a bit. I'll probably end up trying to do that the weekend. It's what are we, Thursday now, so Thursday evening. The lilies, oh, they've all got these absolutely gorgeous little flowers starting to grow on them. Hopefully should have quite a display this year. And then these are the ones from last year, so tiger lilies and that sort of thing. I think there's a nice red one in that lot as well. And if you can see just in there, I've not had much luck with the Himalayan lily. So that one in the centre, the last couple of years I've had one and they've rotted before they've had a chance to actually do anything. But touch wood, hopefully they're doing something this year. Okay, beetroot wise, it's been a bit sparse. These have been old seed. I have planted a load more in the polytunnels to actually go out. So I've got plenty of weeds still, and I'll sort those out over the next few days. Right, let's have a quick look under here. So this was my, oh there we go. So those things there that look like fat hen, that's the Aztec broccoli amongst a load of weeds. So I will weed this particular bed out at the weekend and then bring this back into fruition, plant a few more beetroot and things like that in there. I think we've got the odd parsnip in there as well. These are probably seeds from last year, but we'll see how that goes. It's looking a right mess under there though. Right, so the buddleia growing really well this year, so hopefully we should get a nice flush of flowers on those. The thing about buddleias is it does bring the insects and the bugs in. I've come round here just literally to show you, not the black bags, because that's another tip run I need to do. Tomatillos doing absolutely fantastic. I'm probably getting to the stage where I need to stake these just so that they can stay upright in the wind, but it's a little bit more sheltered here hopefully. And the single seed potato challenge, potatoes, they're starting to get some nice flowers on them now. This one here, I don't know, seems to be a bit weird. Don't know why it's done that, but again the other two have been absolutely fantastic. There's actually one, two, and there's the third one over there. So yeah, doing really well. Right, so this here is a nice little this is like a wild strawberry, so just starting to get the flowers now, so we'll get some nice early strawberries off those. Alpine strawberries I think they are. Right, we'll go into the aubergine house, and we can see here, I'm going to see if I've got any fruit growing off the flowers. Probably not. So this is the kiwi berry. Hopefully we should get some more flowers on here. I'm hoping really for this year to try and get a little bit of fruit off this. Oh, there's a nice little spider there. Nice little fella. Right, And we've got some more sweet peas growing there, so they'll go out with the rest of them. Don't mind the bindweed. I think the aubergines will go out this weekend into here. So these particular tables that are kind of fold down tables will hopefully be folded up, and then we'll go from there. So these here are the white henbane. I've planted some of these out already. Again, doing really well. And this here is one of the hairy balls. So again, a toxic plant. At least the seeds are toxic, so we're keeping those going. The jicama has started to come up, and I think I've got ants in there as well. Actually, there's a little ant there. Bless them. Okay, and I've got tomatoes pretty much everywhere now. I planted these quite late, but they are starting to catch up a little bit now. This RAF tomato, it grows quite a stocky plant, so it's a bit of a bush tomato, this one. Again, this was the one that was supposed to be the most expensive tomato in the world, basically because of the amount of money it took to actually produce it. It's a resistant strain of tomatoes to a particular fungi. Something I picked up at the weekend, I got this actually quite cheap. This was half price. I think it's probably because it's come to the end of its flowering season, but again, when you read the back of these things and you look into them, you see things on it like, I don't know whether you can see there, sheep laurel. So this is an evergreen laurel. Now, I don't know if you guys know about poisonous plants. Laurel is incredibly poisonous for the majority of the time. So laurel is one of those plants that potentially can give off cyanide gas. But the sheep laurel here, or Kalmia, is also called sheep kill, basically because the actual toxicity of these glycoside compounds in this have been known to kill livestock. So I'm not going to be basically grazing any livestock down this particular plot. This one here does need a bit of more of an acidic soil, so I'll get some ericaceous soil at some point shortly and pot this into a nice pot, just to add to my poison plant collection. And talking of which, the ricin plants, or castor bean plants, are growing really well now. They're just starting to get their true leaves. The true leaves of these are absolutely fantastic to look at when they finally start coming through properly. I have grown a lot this year. Not quite sure why I grew so many, but yeah, we'll see what happens with those. Over here, we've got some nice clary sage. That's a nice edible herb. And then these here are called shoe fly. So these are the ones I'm growing to actually try and get rid of the whitefly in the brassica cage. So that's one of those jobs. And then this narahilla is actually a fruit that you can eat. Again, Solanum family. Both of these two plants here, the shoe fly and the narahilla, are both Solanum species. So there's the rest of the tomatoes, doing really well. I think if you look back through my videos, you'll see where I potted these on into these pots, and you'll see that they've actually, when you bury them quite deep, they do get some nice sturdy plants on them. My aubergines need a bit of work, so the aubergines will be planted in here over the next few days. I've got rid of the nasturtium from here, and I've put them into hanging baskets, so hopefully they'll do well there. And again, this kind of leaf curl and stuff that I've got from these is probably when they were under the lights at home, but the new leaves that are coming in are doing okay, so I think we should be okay. There's a little fruit on that one. I probably don't want that one yet. I want the plant to get a little bit bigger before they start fruiting. You can just take those particular flowers off. They will make more. Most of the first ones you get generally aren't ones that will give rise to aubergines right at the start of the season. Right, so these are my runner beans. So I've got a lot there and there's another lot here, so I need to clear that space this weekend and get these in the ground. They're actually growing beyond their little cells here. They're only small cells, so this was really just to start them off. And these are my courgettes, which I thought originally got quite leggy. Since I've brought them down here, they've done okay. I've lost a couple, although this one I thought I'd lost. That might even grow, you know, you never know, because these leaves look really kind of quite good, but I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. I've planted some more of these just in case, because I wasn't particularly pleased with the original plants that came up. Okay, let's go into the other areas. So this is the actual kiwi fruit. So this has got the two male and female plants. I'm going to probably need to put these in the ground at some point, because in the pots they probably won't grow as well as if they were straight in the ground. But I'm going to keep them in here to try and get some fruit off these. Might take a few years before these fruit, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's go out and about. Again, some more of the alpine strawberries there. And I've got these around all over the place. You can smell these really, really strongly in the hot weather, especially. So things like the, you know, in the height of summer, the smell of these, the vanilla wisley they're called, Nemesia, absolutely gorgeous plants. And again, the foxgloves have just started coming into their own. So I've got foxgloves here and I've got foxgloves at home as well. Absolutely gorgeous plants. Okay, and again, another foxglove there, but I think I'm probably going to have to take that one out because this is right in front of my, well, supposed to be the brassica cage. Now, if you could eat dot leaves, it would be absolutely fantastic. I think if you look carefully there, you'll see another foxglove growing towards the back there. We'll take those out. The tayberries and the loganberries have got their nice little flowers on them already. So hopefully we'll get some decent fruit off these this year. Should be absolutely fantastic. Right, so into the poison garden. So this is the first poison garden. The acanthus has gone absolutely mad and it's just starting to grow these lovely flower spikes now. But I've got aconitum in with this lot, so I'm gonna have to probably thin out some of these leaves because it seems to be a bit brutal, taking over a bit, I think. But again, the aconitum is coming into flower now. The silver ones are always quite early in the season in terms of how they grow. I've potted up another thing of poison plants. So this one here, it's got a couple of flowers on it now, is the black henbane, and I've got a couple of white henbane either side. So this one here I got from the National Herb Centre in, it's actually near Burton Dasset Hills. Absolutely gorgeous plant. That's kind of why I like these poisonous plants, because the flowers are so intricate. I mean, you see the little veins and stuff in that flower, in the petals there. Absolutely gorgeous plants. And the plant behind it is this bittersweet. So this is the again, member of the Solanum family. It grows as a vine and it will get these nice little red berries on it eventually, which the birds do eat. But again, poison gardens give you so much in terms of actual flowers and interest. Right, I've created a little barrier here just with some cable ties and a bit of old mesh. So my dahlias are now coming up. The thing about dahlias is like most of the plants you put out this time of year, they are very prone to being attacked by pigeons. So if you don't cover them with something, these young tender leaves that they get will be attacked quite heavily by the pigeons. So yeah, it's one of those things you need to try and cover. This is one of the nasturtiums I've moved from the aubergine house. It has took quite well. Hopefully I've put plenty of soil around it. The thing about transplanting plants is that you do need quite a large root ball in the hope that they'll carry on. Okay, we've got another self-seeded. It's actually a peach foxglove by the looks of that. Absolutely, again, gorgeous little colouring to the actual flower. And this is my fox-proofed carrot bed with plenty of carrots growing. Again, I'm going to need to weed that out. There's a few weeds growing in there, but I've not had any issues with foxes. At least I don't think I have. It's very difficult to see. So in terms of pigeon proofing, I've done the same here. So these are the lettuces I've bought. I am going to try and grow some lettuce myself from seed. It's not something I am very successful with. I do try, but these are the bought ones just to start the season off. Variety of different flavours, a variety of different types there. So Lollo Rosso and some gem lettuces and things like that. So hopefully we get some nice lettuces there. Again, without this mesh, the pigeons would have a field day. They would absolutely decimate them. Right, let's get on to the other poison garden. So this here is one of the foxgloves. So this is one of the miniature foxgloves. Now this intricacy of the flower stem here as it's going is absolutely gorgeous. Those little silver edges and things to it, really nice. The first flowering aconitum is this purple starling. One of the smaller varieties of aconitum. Again, really, really pretty. And the hellebores are getting past their best. There's still, there you go, some nice seed pods there. I might try and harvest some of these. Hellebores do self-seed, and again, every part of this plant is poisonous, so be careful around them. These here, I think, are self-seeded corn cockle. We'll see when we see the flower, because the flowers are pretty much unmistakable. I don't remember when I planted it last year as to how the actual plant looked. I think it was similar to that, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Those things in the background here, though, that look like sunflowers aren't sunflowers. These are the sunchokes, or the Jerusalem artichokes. I planted them here 5 years ago, and they are coming back like you would not believe. If you leave one in the ground, they'll all grow back. Got a bit of strimming to do. Again, I've not been able to strim, mostly because of the wet weather we've had. It would totally decimate my strimmer. Again though, these aconitum plants, again, doing really, really well. These are native to the UK, so they will do well in this climate. And again, you can buy these as bare root plants from your local online garden centres and things. I think these were from Hayloft. Again, nice variety of different ones. I've got some from Hayloft and got some from Farmer Gracie in the Netherlands. Okay, this one here is the Goldcrest digitalis. Again, a small variety of digitalis. You get the normal ones, which are over there, which are kind of large. You get the bumblebees and things will go into those. These smaller varieties are more likened to some of the smaller species of honeybees and things like that. And I've also got some really tiny flowering ones, which will probably attract even smaller insects than that. the lily of the valley really hasn't done much at the moment. I probably planted them quite late, so it could be that this season they don't do much, but next season hopefully we should have a nice flush. The hostas, again, the slugs and snails have been attacking these, but again, you get these nice little flowers on hostas as well as the nice leaves. Cola plant's doing really well, as is the pineapple guava. Doesn't look like there's much in the way of flowers and fruit on it at the moment, but hopefully that will come. Right, let's move around into the new build. So these were the St. Patrick's Day potatoes. Now I have still got potatoes to go in the ground, and I think I might do a few more. Potatoes, as long as you can protect them from the frost, will grow all year round. You just got to coddle them a bit as the season gets on. Just keep them away from that frost, which will nip the kind of the leaves later on. But you can kind of start growing some for Christmas and stuff later on in the year. And again, you have to try and keep those under cover if you can. Right, we'll go into the new build then. So the basils, again, are all kind of coming up. So the aniseed basil's not done great. I have planted some more of those. And I think there's this one called Spice Boys, which is actually a mix of different basils. Again, that's not doing great, but if you actually rub your hands over some of these, you can start getting that nice smell of the basil. So I've got some cucumbers there to go in. So Market More, these ones at the back here, are generally the ones that you'll grow outside. So I'll be growing a few of those outside. Hopefully there is a couple of the Telegraph and the Chinese Schlangen that I'm going to actually try and put at least a couple of plants inside the polytunnel. I have got the fenugreek here still growing. I'll harvest some of that eventually at some point shortly, and that looks like grass there is lemongrass. So again, doing okay. It will stay in here. This is the Naranjilla. So you can see the lethal spines on that. So again, this is Solanum species. So Solanum species, if you, I don't know if you've seen sometimes on aubergines, they get these absolutely lethal spines on them, especially the leaves. You can get some quite nasty stabs from an aubergine, but this is Naranjillo, which again is one of these plants that takes no prisoners. Some of the spines on these get really lethal, but I'll be putting these into a pot. You can actually harvest the nice little orange fruits off these, so we'll be doing that later in the season. My Nepetia hasn't done too well. I might buy a couple of plants from a garden centre at some point of those and get them in the ground. Just try and keep them away from the cats so that they don't get laid on. My marigolds need to go out, so these are the ones I seeded myself. The flowers should be about 10 times bigger than this, and it's purely because I've still got them in this pot. I haven't been able to basically plant them out, so I need to basically make sure that that happens relatively soon. Still got some of the pelargoniums to go out. I need to put those in pots. And this lovely olive herb, it smells so strong of olives. It's amazing how strong that smells. And I've got a solitary wonderberry growing. So again, wonderberry is another Solanum species. It's something again that you can actually get fruit off though. It's a little bit, it looks a little bit like a blueberry. But again, you get some really nice fruit off these. I'll see if I can actually get this one to full size. It'll need some coddling. My oleander is doing really well at the moment. I need to find a nice big pot for that, get that in a pot. And the laburnum here has taken a bit of a hit from slugs, but again, it's doing okay. It's got a nice big pot already. This will eventually be a relatively small tree, hopefully, and we'll see how that goes. The herb bed, if you guys know anything about mint, you'll know that mint given the chance, will go out of control. It will spread where it wants, and it will also give you some fantastic leaves and things like that. So we've got a parsley in the middle there, and there's some thyme and some sage, this variegated sage here. But again, doing really well. There's a trailing rosemary there as well. I've got some more herbs that I've planted over the last couple of days in the polytunnel. Hopefully they'll germinate, and then I can actually get those into one of these other pots here. So I think I'm just going to have herbs in here, because it's amazing how good this area smells, especially in the heat of summer, when you've got nice herbs and things. The brassicas, most of these are kale. Again, I need to get these out. Starting to smell a lot like kale in here as well. The tree cabbage and things like that in here as well. So plenty to do, and unfortunately time has run away with me a little bit. Right, out. We'll go around into the polytunnels. The pumpkin patch at the end really hasn't had much work done on it at all. I need to dig it all over, weed it. There's a lot of strimming to do as well. Okay, so we'll go into here. So I have been a little bit busy in here in terms of planting stuff. So I've put the cosmos. Again, the flowers here are quite small because, again, I've left them quite late before I potted them on into these large pots. But hopefully they'll have a nice flush soon. I'm not going to do anything other than put them in pots this year, though. They took over quite heavily in the pumpkin patch last year, and I think they probably took quite a bit of the nutrients away from the area, so the pumpkins weren't very good. The glory lily, I think I've lost one that was in the centre there. I think it's died, dumped off, I think. This one here is doing okay though, so we shall trail that into the polytunnel here. And the tamarillo, so this is actually, the other name of this is a tree tomato. So again, I've got two plants, so hopefully the germination and the pollination between the two should be really good. Not germination because they've already germinated, but again, the pollination, when hopefully these get a little bit bigger, should be really good. They look quite healthy, so that should be nice. Again, another poison plant pot there. So these are the datura species. 4 different kinds of datura in there, and again, hopefully they'll do really well. I've planted some cucamelons, just thrown the seeds in, give them a little bit of a rake over with some soil, hopefully they'll grow. And the brugmansia, so brugmansia is the kind of cousin to the datura. The difference between the brugmansia here, which is angel's trumpet, datura being the devil's trumpet, is the direction of the flowers. Most of your brugmansias, the flowers will hang down, and the daturas generally hold them quite upright. I'll see if I can put some pictures on the screen for you. Okay, we're into the area where I've planted another load of different things. So these are all my squashes and pumpkins, which I've started off in here. They don't need heat really. The heat is that they'll get from the sun in the polytunnels will be enough to get these germinated, hopefully. And again, I've planted some other herbs, some of which you probably won't have heard of. So we've got some sorrel, green purslane. We've got spring and the winter and the summer savory. We've got a nice Japanese variety of herbs. That's Perilla shiso, and we've got some ice plant. I think that's Mesembrium callaloo. I think those of you in the Caribbean will know what callaloo is all about. We've got some Ense water spinach. We've got some wormwood, which again is the artesia. It's the kind of stuff you use to make absinthe. We've got epazote, which is a Japanese herb. Salt salt. What was it called? Saltwort. That was it. Which is going to be a little bit like what's the one that grows on the salt flats in the UK that you can get from your local supermarket? I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it on the screen if I remember it. I've got some more hairy balls growing, and yeah, I think there's quite a few different things you probably won't have heard of much. But yeah, we're going to have some nice plants from those, hopefully. The chilies are still doing well. We've got that really nice southern giant mustard growing in the middle. I'm going to let that grow a little bit more before I harvest it. So this is basically, these are the ones that came from the aubergine house. So the nasturtiums, and again some more pelargoniums, again doing really well. And I put some more in that one as well with another cola bottle pelargonium. The chili grows, they're doing okay. I haven't filled up the reservoir yet. I haven't really needed to. The weather's been horrible, so they've not really been drying out or anything. Basically, just to find out how wet they are, just stick your finger in the top, and you can feel whether it's still moist. And generally, they don't need a lot of water until a little bit later when it starts getting a lot hotter. So doing really well still. My self-seeded red pak choi, that's one of the best ones I've ever grown, I think, and it's grown itself. I've barely watered it. It's doing really good. We'll take some leaves from that, because you can harvest the individual leaves as well as the whole plant if you want to. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So the rest of the chilies in here, they are doing okay. I am a little bit worried about the ants. There is a possibility of the ants potentially taking some of these plants. Hopefully they won't. We'll see how that goes. Right, we'll go into the other area. That's looking quite pretty on the screen now. Again, the chilies doing okay. All growing nicely. The thing about chilies is, if the minute you start getting these flowers on them, so you'll see flowers dotted around here and there. I have been taking them off, but I think I'll leave them now. Just harvest the chilies as they grow, as they get ripe. I've got one here. I think this was actually on the plant when I actually brought it down. So I'm actually that's the first chili of the season, and it's a what do we say? This is a cherry chodo, I think it was called, which is again, I think, another Mexican variety. It's one of those names you can't say very well. I'll again try and put that on the screen. Again, dotted around here, you got these lovely vanilla Weasleys. I absolutely love the smell of those. But again, the chilies doing really well. The pennyroyal has properly taken off with the water in. Pennyroyal again is one of those creeping herbs, a little bit like a mint. So you have to keep an eye on it. But hopefully that smell of mint in here will hopefully keep some of the ants away. I've not had much success with them really in terms of anything that gets rid of ants. Ants will basically go wherever they like, really, unfortunately. And I know I've had some ants in this corner here, so I've put some ant poison down. Not that they'll take it. If it's red ants, they probably won't. The space chilies, they're all starting to get their flowers on them now, and again, I'll probably leave them and just see what we get. The plants will get bigger in size as time goes on as well, but yeah, we should be okay. All my beans, I need to start trying to get those planted out into the ground, so I've got a little bit more digging to do. Maybe tomorrow, the weekend, be able to do that in earnest. And again, The nasturtiums are growing nicely, so again these would be for some nice baskets and things around. Anywhere where you've got flowers, you'll bring in the bees, you'll bring in the other insects, and it will help your pollination of everything else that you've got. So it's always useful to grow flowers alongside your vegetables. The spring onions are doing absolutely brilliant. So I was asked the other day of some good varieties of spring onions, and I've said that I never really do wrong with White Lisbon, which is what they are. So they'll be hopefully going out probably into one of the baths. The sunflowers over in the corner there, again doing quite well. Those will be planted in an area on their own, because they do basically stop other things from growing around them. So if you grow sunflowers, try not to put them near anything that you actually want to grow well, because they will take the nutrients from those. The beetroot is starting to come up. Again, these are quite old seeds, so I'm going to get some kind of mixed results with these. I'll try and get some new seeds and plant some more of those, just so we can get a nice succession of beetroot. And the fennel, some of it started to come up, so we'll have some fennel plants to put out soon. Right. I'd like to say that was a short video, but it's probably quite a long one. Again, the things that change in your allotments, even on a daily basis, is massive. The amount of new growth that you'll get from things, the amount of new fruit that starts growing. You know, you can literally go away of an evening, you can come back the next morning, and then something will have almost doubled in size. And then some of the things will start getting those lovely little flowers on, and your fruit will follow so quickly afterwards. Sometimes it's difficult to actually keep up with them. As well as that, you've got the weeds, unfortunately, which will always do their bit as well to try and take over a particular area and grow in preference basically to everything else around them. That's how plants survive, and they usually do it at the expense of other plants around them, especially things like bindweed, which you do have to try and keep control more mechanically, more physically. One of the things you can do with bindweed is you can put a stick in the ground, get that bindweed to grow up around the stick, and then use a topical plant poison. You can get these almost like a roll-on plant plant killing chemical. Just dab the leaves and it should take it down to the root. So that's another idea of trying to get rid of them. And it's a little bit better than in effect just spraying things with chemicals, because it's going to kill everything around it. And if anything, if you've got something that's sprayed on a bit of ground and then you step on it, there's a chance that you can actually take that poison to other areas on your allotment, and unfortunately on other people's allotment where they don't really want it. So you can kill all sorts of different plants and things that you don't necessarily need to. People kind of lose a lot of control when it comes to things like bindweed, because it just seems to take over. When it takes over, it's kind of ruthless. It just will grow definitely at the expense of everything else around it. So that's all for tonight. Again, just showing you a quick look around as to how things are now. It's quite an overcast day, so you're not going to get the colours and things like that you would normally get with the full sun out, and the gorgeous colours you get, especially in these chilies, especially some of the variegated ones. That absolute kind of difference in different colours and things that you get in the same plant is quite amazing. I mean, I think I showed you the variegated jigsaw chili a while back, and you get those really nice purple leaves. Looks like I've got a friend there. I don't mind the little moths and things. One of the good things about having lights, I mean, I think you've probably noticed I've got lights everywhere within my polytunnels and my plot. Reason being is because not all of your pollinators will do it at night. They will do it during the day. Bees don't fly during the night. I think if you were to turn the lights out on a thing of bees, you'll find that they will hit the floor. They don't fly at night. They kind of lack the energy to be able to get off the ground at night, because they need that little bit of heat and actually to help them get off the ground. But what you do get is moths, and moths will be really good at pollinating some of your things at night, especially those things with a white flower. There's got a certain amount of autofluorescence, white flowers do, especially things like your I suppose your tromboncinos, although they're more yellow, but your snake gourds and things like that, things that are more kind of akin to your hotter areas, so loofahs, probably within the same sort of thing. If you bring the moths in, then your germination for those particular plants will definitely increase. I say germination, I keep saying germination instead of pollination. Right, so that's me for tonight. So we'll do another video hopefully soon and show you how things are progressing. Hopefully things are progressing. I've got a lot of work to do still. I know I've got a lot of work to do. I think if I manage to sort the strimming out this weekend, hopefully if it's a bit warmer, if I sort the strimming out, hopefully things will already start to look a bit better. If I trim everything down in the brassica cage, that's a start. Then I'll need to probably dig out all the dock leaves and things like that. But hopefully I can get some of those kale in the ground then, and things hopefully will start taking off in there as well. Right, so that's all for tonight. We'll see you on the next video then. So all the best. Take care. Bye bye.